Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to JWE Friday Night Eclipse. We're here in Detroit, Michigan, where we're coming off the backs of a pretty entertaining Against the Odds in our first spring break of the year. Tonight, Poppi once again tries to break her losing streak as she takes on the woman who is still the Universal Champion, Lucina. Meanwhile, Triple Threat Teddie makes his return as he faces off against Jayden and Shuichi Saihara. Kiryu starts off his time as champion with the match against Agent 47, and the ring might just explode at the end of the night as D.I.C.E takes on the Skelebros. So sit back and get ready for an unforgettable night as we set our sights on the Elimination Chamber, because this is Eclipse. And starting off our night with a tag team match. Introducing first, they are your former queens of the tag team division. It is Melly Antiqua and Nia. Ascension. And their opponents. They are your current Women's Tag Team Champions.
Hybrid Tag Team Champions, and Sawyer My Zero. Truth and Consequences.
It is Sayaka Maizono and Kyoko Kirigiri. Harmonious Truth. And I'm expecting yet another barn burner between these two teams, between this division. I don't think there's really been a single match yet this year that has been a disappointment. And I really do not see that changing tonight. And here we go, Melly, Kyoko, first in the ring. And the ref rings the bell. Kyoko immediately looking for the kick. Melly catching that, but Kyoko going through with the kick anyway, throwing Melly into the corner, taking in Sayaka. And immediately looking for a tag team attack. Just a trebuchet into the corner. And now Sayaka throwing Melia into the northeast corner this time. Already starting our trip around the world. And Sayaka sending Melia up top. Melia fighting her way down. And rolling Sayaka up in a quick pin. Sayaka rolling Melia up in a quick pin. Melia regaining top position. Sayaka saying no you. Only one. Sayaka now northwest corner double leg dropkick. Picking up Melia, but Melia with a reversal, throwing Sayaka over her shoulder. Setting her up. And slipping out behind with a hair pull, and now heading to the corner, tagging in Nia. And Nia with a running bulldog. Look for the double foot stomp. Sayaka gets out of the way and a spinning elbow. Forcing Nia back up to her feet. Toss back into the southeast corner. And again tagging in Kyoko. And another tag team attack. Both members of Ascension essentially being greeted with a tag team attack. Wonder if that's part of the Truth's strategy, or if it's just coincidence. Nia kicks out at 1. And Kyoko sending Nia for an Irish whip, diving underneath. And a shoulder tackle. Melia looking for the tag. But Nia reversing Kyoko's attempt to defend that. Nia still in the ring, rolling through. And now heading to the corner, tagging Melia back in. Immediately greeted with a flying forearm and the cover. 1. Kyoko forcing Melia back up to her feet. Knife edge chops. Up, over in a suplex. Kyoko tagging out Saika in. And Saika, the dragon screw into a leg breaker. And the cover. 1. Again 1. Saika forcing Melia up to her feet. Kick to the chest, rolling backstabber. And now Saika to the outside. Climbing up top. Turning around top rope. 540 moonsault into the cover. And Nia's going to break it up at the, what else? 1 count. Melia with a Thez press out of nowhere. Just driving the hand into the temple and now tagging out Nia back in. Look for the leg drop at Saika, seeing that coming from a mile away, rolling out of the way, and might have overdone it a little bit, but doesn't matter. Irish whip, axe handle chop. And a leg breaker. And Saika with a double foot stomp kick to the chest. Taking out Kyoko back in. And Kyoko the flying axe handle. Head to the corner. What is she looking for here? Look for the stomp. But Nia gets out of the way. Clothesline. Kyoko looking for a stomp, adding a new move to her repertoire, perhaps. Sent to the corner. Tagging in Nia tagging in Melia. First chain attack of the night. Double foot drop kick. Melia picking up Kyoko. Kyoko greeting her, or thanking her with a clothesline. Spinning heel kick to create a little bit of distance. And a pump handle suplex. Kyoko taking out Saika back in. Diving accidental punch. Melia gets out of the way. Toss to the corner. Looking to get Nia back into the ring. And she does. Another chain attack in quick succession. Accidental drop right to the arm. And now Nia sending Saika for a run. Diving underneath. Over the top. Enziguri. And the cover. 1, 2. Saika kicks out. Kyoko in the ring. Advantage Ascension. And now Nia scrambling up top. The Gormati looking to fly. Somersault, double leg dropkick into the cover. There's 1, there's 2. Saika still with the strength to kick out. Saika to the outside, Melia back into the ring. Saika back into the ring. And I legitimately did not know that you could make it from the south end to the ring, ringside to the east side by actually going around that corner. I thought there was a wall there. There's one. There's two. Saika still kicks out. Momentum completely in Ascension's favor right now. Of course, as soon as I say that, they're gonna drop the momentum, but yep, there's a kick to the thigh. Saika back on the offense, axe handle to the chest, tagging in Kyoko. Wow, it's almost like I know how the commentator's curse works. Kyoko forcing Melia up to her feet. Axe handle. Leg sweep. Just putting all of that weight on the forearm, or the forearm. Nia has to break it up. And the momentum that was once in Ascension's favor is now swung the other way. Kyoko with a knee shiver and tagging in Saika to do the pin. 1, 2, 3. Again, Harmonious Truth showing why they are the champions. Those two early tag team attacks certainly helping. But did you really have to be that extra at the finish? And a division that might have been very close at the start of the year. There might be a bridge, or there might be a separation here as Kyoko and Saika continue to win, especially. Well, yeah, obviously, but continue to win. And importantly, Ascension and the Cyber Idols, they aren't. And next, introducing first, he is your Mr. Money in the Bank, the silent assassin himself, Agent 47. And if things stay this way, this might be a preview match for when Kiryu, or when 47 decides to cash in that Money in the Bank, which is not tonight. But he always has that in his back pocket if he needs it. And his opponent. He is your men's Universal Champion after coming home finally, beating Goro Majima.
Weighing in at 194 pounds, the men's hybrid universal champion, the Dragon Kiryu.
It is the Dragon of Dojima, the 4th chairman, Kazuma Kiryu. Really milking it in. First time holding the belt, at least first time in a while. I don't remember the last time he held the belt. I don't think he ever had until now. If he has, I'm forgetting when. And just really soaking in the moment. First night officially as champion. Let's see how it goes. 47, Kiryu staring each other down. Mr. Money in the Bank and Mr. Universal Champion sharing the ring in a non-title match, and they immediately lock up. 47 slipping out to the back. Rear waistlock applied. Kiryu trying to escape and does with an arm drag, turning that into a headlock. Turning very technical very quickly. And 47 trying to escape. Kiryu keeping him in his place with a head crank. And a knee to the top of the head. Kiryu to the outside. Top rope slingshot clothesline. .47 back up to his feet, immediately thrown by Kiryu into an Irish whip, and 47 just avoiding both, turning that into a clothesline and locking in a submission against Kiryu, who immediately gets out. 47 just killing the momentum a little bit of this match. Kiryu immediately with a clothesline to the back of the head and just working on the ankle. I know I say it a lot, but it's still true. If you can disable your opponent's base, that being their feet, ankles, legs, whatever, you completely stifle their offense. Because all the power comes from the base. Kiryu with a splash. And now Kiryu, cross arm power submission over the shoulders, and yeah, that was not good positioning. 47 reversal. Rolling Kiryu up in a surprise pin attempt. Only getting the one, but I think it's more mind games more than anything. 47 trying to show Kiryu that he can be dangerous in literally any position. Stomp to the hand, looking for another stomp. Kiryu gets out of the way, and 47 stifling that with a single shoulder suplex. And elbow drop to the chest. Kiryu to the outside, 47 just staring him down, heading up top. Is he looking to fly? Double leg drop kick. Not at all what I was expecting from the Silence Assassin. 47 forcing Kiryu back up to his feet, tossing him back inside the ring, killing the referee's count before he could even get the 2. And 47 with a knee to the back of the head, back to the outside. Frog splash to the spine. And locking in a headlock from behind that Kiryu immediately gets out of. 47 with a reversal right back, turning Kiryu around. Another. Looking for the final rest. Locking in the submission. Can Kiryu find another escape? 47 releasing the hold. immediately turning that into another submission. Just pulling on the wrist. And again, just 47 just playing with his opponent. Bringing him to the end, but bending him as much as he can before breaking. Not sure if he's just trying to soften Kiryu up or what, but there's a diving neck snap from the top rope. And going for the cover. 1, 2, Kiryu kicks out. And that was not smart. 47 sending Kiryu for an Irish whip. Belly to belly slam. And now 47, another wrist clutch. Again, trying to make Kiryu tap, just pulling back on the arm. And yeah, Kiryu, he can only bend so much. He's not really known for his flexibility. And forcing a tap out. And 47. Just absolutely showing why he is dangerous from all corners. Not only of the ring, but just in martial arts in general. Often seen as a bit of a technician, but he's more of just an all-around specialist. Being able to throw out anything he needs to. And doing exactly that here tonight. Picking up a massive win against your newest men's Universal Champion. And that's going to be a pretty big boost to the ego, especially holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. If you can do that consistently, once you cash in, it's basically free. And for our women's cruiserweight matchup of the evening, introducing first, it is the Change Bringer, trying to bring change to her own season, which has been fairly stagnant, ironically. I would say that the integral of her season thus far has been 0, or the derivative rather of her season has been 0, but well, it's Delta. And for anyone who doesn't understand derivatives, derivative of 0 means that there's no change. The derivative is essentially like how the function is changing over time, and if it's 0, then yeah, that means there's no change. So there's your math. There's your math knowledge of the evening. Your math fact of the evening. Anyway, her opponent from Monterrey, Mexico. I know they say Mexico City, but that's because for some reason Monterrey is not in this game because incompetence. Anyway, it is the Plague Doctor herself. Surprisingly still looking for her first win. It's been a while, and I'm starting to worry. It is Lexibor. And here we go, both women finishing up their warm-up. And here we go. Ref rings the bell and they immediately run towards each other. Lexi with a scissor kick. Trapping the arm of Delta, stomping down on the hand. And a flying elbow to the chest. Immediately back up to her feet. And again, trapping the arm, stomping on the hand, just disabling. I'm trying to disable as much as of her top body offense as possible. And smashing the face and chest into the canvas. Lexi middle rope. Flying crossbody connects. And immediately looking for a pin. There's one. Lexi with the kick to the spine. Heading middle rope. Climbing back down. And trapping the arm, stomping on the hand. Elbow to the kidney. And Lexi with a stomp right to the thigh. Trying to get Delta back up to her feet. And now throwing her into the corner. Lining up. Really lining up. And just using all that... 45 feet. Trying to get an elbow. Right, because Route 2 is about 1.4. Double leg drop kick. Look at that, 43 feet. Look at me using my brain. I'm looking for the tornado kick, but Delta gets out of the way. Unless the ring is 20 feet by 20 feet, in which case it would be like 30-ish. And Delta with a spinning heel kick. Picking up Lexi, throwing her down. Yeah, it's like, actually, yeah, it is closer to 20 feet by 20 feet, isn't it? For some reason, I was thinking 30 feet by 30 feet. Anyway, diving clothesline, or not clothesline, a diving axe handle drop. Lexi gets out of the way, double leg drop kick to the chest. And a top rope, or a middle rope crossbody, and I was correct, it is 20 feet by 20 feet, so it wasn't a 45-foot run-up, it was closer to like a 28-foot run-up. And now locking in a headlock. Delta fighting out. And look at that, I was correct again, 28 feet, 3 inches. Wow, this match is just me doing math, isn't it? Lexi going for the cover. 1, 2, Delta kicks out. Ah, the power of ADHD. Delta crawling to the corner, fighting herself out. And a double leg drop kick. Lexi crawling to the corner, Delta staring her down. And Lexi elbowing herself out of the corner, kick to the chest. Making her way to the corner again. Failed the first time, but hyping up the crowd for some sweet chin music. 1, 2, 3. And the first win was bound to happen eventually. And it happened while I was spouting nonsense about math. Welcome to the channel. And that's gotta be a weight right off the shoulders. Lexi finally getting it done. It's been a while, but there you go. And for our triple threat match of the evening. Introducing first, looking to reclaim his title as triple threat Teddie. It is Teddie.
Making his way to the ring, representing the Blue Bloods from the internet, weighing in at 126 pounds, the Bear Teddie!
And Teddie back in 2024, making a name for himself by being oddly good at triple threats, and can he do it again in the big 2-6? That is the question. I think he can do it. I have faith. And his opponent, it is the Blue Jay himself.
Weighing in at 135 pounds, Jayden Moore!
It is Jayden Moon. And last but certainly not least, representing the Big Bang Theory.
From Nakata, Japan, weighing in at 128 pounds, Sharon Ebara!
It is Shuichi Saihara. Coming off of a disappointing loss to the Dark Hour in that absolutely incredible tag team ladder match that I absolutely did not crash out during. I don't know what you're talking about. I did not crash out. It is, like I said, Shuichi Saihara. And here we go, Teddie, Jayden, Shuichi. All three men ready, and referee rings the bell. Teddie immediately taking Jayden down, trying to regain his triple threat moniker by just throwing hands against the Blue Jay. Now Jayden with a knife edge chop, double knees to the chin, stepping out of the way. The grapple is Jayden, is Teddie, but Jayden with the top rope, reverse DDT. And, okay, Shuichi, show off. Shuichi elbowing out of the grapple. Jayden with the grapple up, over, and Shuichi slipping out. Now Teddie with a shot to the shoulder. Jayden to the outside, heading underneath the ring immediately for a toy. And getting a kendo stick. Just bashing Teddie over the head with it. Trying to soften him up. Elbow to the spine. Toss into the elbow. And here comes Shuichi, right hands. Teddie catching that left hand and just throwing Shuichi into the corner. And now picking up Jayden. Trying to throw him into the corner, but Jayden elbowing out. Teddie taking a little bit too much time. And here comes Shuichi with a sledgehammer. Shot right to the leg. Jayden back up to his feet, but Shuichi with a couple of right hands. Jayden catching that kick. Up, over, and a powerbomb right onto the sledgehammer. DDT right onto the kendo stick. And a jumping, spinning back heel kick from Jayden, going for the cover. He might be the only man still alive in this ring. Never mind. 1 count. And Shuichi with a spinning neck breaker against Teddie. Going for the cover, and Jayden is going to break it up. Now, a big difference between these triple threat matches and the ones that Teddie is used to from 2024, and I guess everyone is more or less used to from earlier on, is as Shuichi just completely whiffs on his throw, is no eliminations. First fall wins, which Teddie absolutely using the eliminations to his advantage when those are a thing, but can't really seem to hide behind. He can't hide behind that anymore. Jayden to the outside, getting Shuichi back up to his feet. And a top rope DDT connects, but here comes Teddie, picking up the pieces, throwing Jayden. Belly to back suplex. And now Shuichi with a neck drag. Getting the kendo stick. And immediately losing it because Jayden decides to float over DDT onto the sledgehammer yet again. Over the cover, Teddie's going to break it up. And Jayden with a flying knee over Shuichi, connecting with Teddie. And a tornado kick. Forcing Teddie up to his feet. Spinning discus elbow, and here comes Shuichi, knife edge chop. Shoulder, or a tackle right to the leg. Trying to make Jayden land on the sledgehammer for once, but alas, not meant to be. Now going for the pin. 1, 2, Jayden breaks it up. And an elbow right onto the kendo stick. Again, Jayden using those discarded weapons as, well, weapons. And a stomp leg puller. Shuichi back up to his feet, but in the corner, and here comes Jayden. Opportunistic. 1, 2, and 3. And poetically getting his win by pinning triple threat Teddie. And I suppose new strategy unlocked. Just drive your opponents into the weapons laying onto the ground. Like, look at that. DDT onto the kendo stick. There was a DDT onto the sledgehammer. This float over DDT headfirst into the sledgehammer. Nearly missing the kendo stick there. And that is something stemming from just high situational awareness, not to like glaze him or anything, but you have to have some pretty good idea of what's around you to even come up with that.
Here is your winner, Jayden.
And I'm not glazing him because he's technically an avatar myself, no, but not what I was expecting heading into this, but big win. Is he eyeing up another championship run? He might be putting Fox on notice. And now for our second tag team matchup of the evening and our penultimate matchup of the evening. Introducing first, you know what cool is. The definition is Papyrus and Sans, the Skelebros. No, seriously, look it up. Cool. Noun. Papyrus and Sans. Hey, I don't make up words. Webster does. And their opponents, it is their bitter rivals, Kokichiyama and Rantaro Amami, D.I.C.E. And here we go, both teams ready. And here we go. Sans and Rantaro first in the ring, ref rings bell, and Rantaro immediately turning Sans around. Elbow to the spine. And a double knee to the spine. And now Rantaro turning Sans around with a shot to the wrist. Cloverleaf right next to the ropes. And Sans immediately getting out. Slipping out to the back. Sans face first into the canvas. And Rantaro with a reversal. Sending Sans over the top rope. Right hand. Papyrus giving them space, and there's a DDT along the apron. Rantaro rolling Sans around. There's a leg snap. Sans fighting out. There's 3. Getting dangerously close already. There's 5. And the ref not giving them much time. Already at 7. And Sans escaping back into the ring. Rantaro slow to his feet. Barely in before the 9. And Rantaro sending Sans for an Irish whip. Big back by drop cover. Papyrus immediately in to break it up. And Rantaro tagging out Kokichi in. Desperado take from Sans, and here comes Papyrus. And Papyrus with an elbow from the middle rope. Here's the cover. 1, Standing shooting star press from Papyrus. And snap elbow. Papyrus just cranking on the neck of Kokichi. Throwing him down. Kokichi back up to his feet. And a satellite DDT or float over DDT. Kokichi takes out Rantaro back in. And Papyrus back on the offense. There's a face buster. And Papyrus rolling arm breaker. But Rantaro kicking him off. Bouncing off of Papyrus, throwing him for an Irish whip. And a tilt-a-whirl DDT. Rantaro picking up Papyrus, doubling dropkick to the chest. Tagging in Kokichi. Papyrus crawling to the corner. And barely gets a tag in before Kokichi could say so. And now Kokichi forcing Sans up over the shoulders. Sans elbowing out. Kokichi fighting out. Sans avoiding the grapple, but Kokichi with an uppercut. Working on the neck. And now Kokichi middle rope. Lining up. Single leg drop kick. And a kick to the spine. Turning Sans around. Just continuing to work on his arms. Not entirely a bad strategy, considering that Sans is more of a submission special, not submission specialist per se, but more technical, and you disable his arms, take that power away from him. It's a lot easier to get out of submission holds, as there's a triangle leg drop, standing triangle leg drop from a Kokichi. Toss into the corner, might be in for something big as Kokichi tags in Rantaro, tag team attack. Neck snap, kick to the spine. But Sans back up to his feet. Irish whip. And a spear from Rantaro. Turning Sans around. And not going for the pinfall, instead trying to trying to one-up him with a submission? Trying to disrespect him? And now neck snapping Papyrus. Toss into the corner. And DDT from Rantaro. Knee to the inside of the arm. And a double foot stomp. Stomp to the back of the head. And a clothesline to the outside. And momentum completely in the favor of D.I.C.E. And Sans is not moving. Now he is. And Rantaro up top. Double leg dropkick just for good measure. But Sans kicking Rantaro off. Forcing him back up to his feet. Spine buster. Armbar. There's 5. Make that 6. Toss into the ring post. There's 8. Rantaro getting to the ring. Rantaro. Papyrus pushing Rantaro into the ring. And That is going to be a win by That is going to be a win by... Wait, what is D.I.C.E doing? Papyrus checking up on Sans, and here comes Rentaro with a steel chair from behind. Kokichi with a steel chair, and now just bashing on Sans and Papyrus, making their win by countout even more sweeter. And my God. And now for our main event of the evening. And I want to see y'all dancing because it is time for Poppi QT.
Making her way to the ring, representing the crew from Neo Osaka, Precious QT.
Or should I say representing the Cyber Idols, Poppi QT. And still looking for her first win of the year, and well, that can happen twice in a night, right? And her opponent. She is still your Women's Universal Champion somehow. Coming off of a triple threat victory, I believe, if memory serves. It is Lucina.
And her opponent from Camelot, the Women's Hybrid Universal Champion, Lucina.
Wait, no, she didn't defend. Excuse me, I was thinking of a different match. Never mind, I was wrong. But still, your Women's Universal Division Champion, Lucina. And here go both women ready. Ref rings the bell, and Poppi immediately looking for the right hand. Lucina steps out of the way and immediately tying Poppi up in a collar and elbow, but Poppi overpowering the champion, walking her back into the corner. Referee having to break them up. No funny business. And now Poppi just driving Lucina even further into the corner, kicked the leg, and locking up again. And now Lucina with a headlock, but Poppi throwing her for an Irish whip, double leg drop kick. Rolling Lucina around, stomp to the ankle. Lucina back up to her feet. Poppi rolls out of the way. And now Lucina rolling Poppi up. There's one. And Lucina with an arm breaker. Picking Poppi up, kick to the spine. Stomp to the wrist. And a leg drop. Sliding leg drop from Lucina, and again. Rolling Poppi around. Picking her up, but Poppi with a dragon screw. There's an arm breaker. And a neck snap. Poppi with a kick to the stomach. Just wrenching on that leg. And Lucina kicking Poppi off of her. Neither woman really having extreme top control. The momentum still seems to be a little bit more fluid. There's Lucina with a neck breaker. And rolling Poppi up, just working on that ankle. And now Lucina heading up top. Looking to fly, trying to get Poppi back up to her feet. And a double A drop kick to the chest. Lucina rolling Poppi around. Lining up. Sliding double leg drop kick, and now Lucina again heading up top. Again getting Poppi back up to her feet. And the roll off the top rope. There's two. Poppi still surviving. Lucina to the outside, looking for the phenomenal forearm. And that might be lights. 1, 2. Poppi still somehow kicking out. Surviving the top rope roll up. Surviving the phenomenal forearm. But can she survive this? Lucina lining up Poppi with a reversal. And now just blowing past Lucina with the comeback. Flying clothesline connects Lucina to the corner. A little bit dazed after that surprise showing of, surprise flurry of offense. Now Poppi being sent for a run. Kick to the shoulder. Poppi elbowing out. Still having a lot of fight in her. Kick to the shoulder. And now Poppi lining up a finisher. Or a signature. Dragging Lucina down. Sleeper hold. Locking in. And Lucina fighting out despite Poppi locking her joints. Being an android certainly helps. And now Lucina scrambling up top, turning around, trying to put this thing away quickly to prevent Poppi from getting a third wind. There's one, there's two. Poppi still kicks out. Lucina unable to put her away. And these are the types of opponents that are probably the most annoying to fight against. Not necessarily who's the most skilled, but who is the most annoying. There's a Spanish fly reversal from Poppi, going for the cover. 1, 2. Lucina kicks out, and resilience on the board for both. Poppi dragging Lucina away. And now Poppi with an electric chair and a standing moonsault and wrapping up another submission. Dragging Lucina down again, locking the joints, trying to put this one away via submission. And Lucina again managing to escaping to the outside, climbing back in. Now we're just playing a little bit of musical chairs along the apron. Poppi flying to the top rope, looking to fly off the top rope, crossbody. And Lucina seems to be in a bit of danger here, but as soon as I say that, catching the kick, elbow to the knee, over the shoulder, leg drop. And now Lucina hot-shotting Poppi off the apron, locking in a figure 4 along the outside. Just trying to disable as much of Poppi's offense as possible. And a DDT along the outside. Using the unforgiving mat to her advantage. Lucina throwing Poppi into the steps. There's 4. Not wanting to win by countout. And a leg drop from Lucina. Diving knee to the face, and Lucina lining up another big move along the outside. Float over DDT. There's 7, Lucina. Just sauntering back into the ring. 8. 9. 10. Using the rules to her advantage. Probably realizing that was probably the only way that she could actually defeat Poppi, especially when she's like that. And that was close. That was a close escape from Lucina. She does not want any more matches like that, I assure you. But with that, I would like to thank y'all for joining us here tonight and hope to see you next week for another bout of weekly shows. J Ramen on Monday, Wingcrest on Wednesday, Eclipse on Friday. As we again prepare for my personal PLE of the year. One where titles might not necessarily be on the line, but another prize will absolutely be. We'll get to that when we get to that. It is the Elimination Chamber, and then after that, for our 100th week, it is the King and Queen of the Ring. But until then, we are signing out from Detroit, Michigan. See ya.